Alright, what's going on, guys? My name is VJ. This is my wife Erica. She's finally making an appearance here. In the last video, she was kind of hiding in between, right?
I wasn't ready.
Yeah, she wasn't ready. And we're city glampers. Is that what we're
City
going
glampers,
with?
yep.
City glampers. Anybody who knows us knows that we're not like outdoorsy kind of people.
Yeah, you wouldn't think we RV much.
Yeah, no, not at all. But I don't know, there's just something about this lifestyle, so maybe even something because of COVID and all this restrictions and all of that it actually seems pretty appealing just to be outside. So we're not like camping. I mean, we're at campgrounds, but we want all the amenities, so that's why we're kind of more glamping than anything else. And we're from the city, so it just seemed fitting for our name. So let me ask you this: what would you say inspired this whole RV thing? I mean, I kind of touched on it a little bit about the whole COVID situation and stuff like that, but how did we get here?
I think that 2020 just really changed everybody's perspective.
Yeah,
you know,
tell me about it. 2020 was a year to remember.
Definitely.
Right? Insert sarcasm here for sure. And I think too, you know, with that extra time that we had, we spent a lot of time on YouTube, and we were watching videos like non-stop.
Yeah, Sara and Nate and LeBlanc, you know, we used to love to travel. And so now that we have a 2-year-old and with everything going on, we were living vicariously through Sara and Nate and LeBlanc and seeing where they were. And they actually said something that really meant a lot to us. They were saying that they have traveled abroad, you know, like us. We've been to
Dubai, Colombia,
Mexico, Italy, Greece.
Yeah, all these places.
And yet we haven't even seen California.
And I think too, what we started to notice was that trend that they were either going in an RV or they were going in a camper, right? Sara and Nate came back from wherever they were overseas, and they bought a camper or
a tiny home on wheels,
a tiny
Mercedes.
home, a van, right? They went with a Sprinter van.
Converted Sprinter
So
van.
we were like, wait a minute, and that's kind of how this. I think for me at least, that's kind of how this all
started. We were like,
they got everything. Right, because that's the thing again, the amenities, right? So you got your bathroom, you got your kitchen.
You can cook.
You can cook. You got your beds there, and the best part about it, at least for us, you know, we don't have to stay in a hotel or anything like that. So I think
you don't have to fly there, which is a huge
fly.
expense. And then with COVID, who even knows when we'll be comfortable with that again?
Right, exactly. So I think that's kind of how we ended up. I mean, we went down the Sprinter van.
We actually almost bought one.
We were like,
non-stop
I'm getting a van.
Which van we were gonna get. We went to see a used one, and we were ready to make a deal. And then we were like, let's just think about this.
Let's just think about this real
quick. We actually got a phone call that night from a friend of ours that owns an RV, and he was like, that is a lot of work. That's gonna take you a long amount of time.
Not only that, but remember, I think I got, oh man, I forget what their I'll link it down below, but I got their van guide. Awesome van guide, don't get me wrong, like but it gave a really true picture of how involved this was. Not only involved, but how expensive it was.
We actually even drew out a blueprint of what we wanted everything to look like. We knew what we wanted it to be like, but we didn't actually know what that entailed and the amount of work that it was going to take to get there. So
with that phone call, or one of those phone calls, you know, we kind of started talking about, well, why don't you get a travel trailer? And that's kind of how we made it to where we are now. We started looking at travel trailers. We started even entertaining the thought again, turning to YouTube and following. Then we find like this whole entire RV community that we didn't even know existed.
No.
Right?
I was very surprised to walk in and see. I mean, it literally is a tiny house on wheels. It's everything that you need.
Yeah. So the challenge for us was that, you know, we didn't really want to put it in storage.
Right.
So we kind of were throwing that around. And me, again, we're newbies, like as green as they come when it comes to all this. Like, we're literally learning everything on the go.
Yeah, we had no idea. When we were shopping around, they were like, you've never even camped in an RV? You're trying to buy one? But for us, it was more the experience of getting us from A to B and doing it safely. Because frankly, like he said, I don't know when we're going to be comfortable in a hotel. I don't know when we're going to be okay flying again. But this is a way from getting to A to B. Plus, financially, it saves you a ton of money.
And on top of that, you stay safe, because when you're at a campground or campsite, you know, you're normally by yourself. I mean, that's like
no peopling involved.
Social distance, because you're in your own sight, at least from what we've seen so far. That's kind of what we've been looking at. So going back to the inexperience that we have, the fear that we have for the travel trailer, at least me personally, was towing it, because one, I've never even owned a truck, so I had to get a truck. And then when you're looking at the size of this thing and your whole entire rig, I was like, I don't know how comfortable I feel towing this thing.
Yeah, I would never be okay driving it personally. I mean, I trust him. He's from New York. He can get his way around a highway, but that's pretty scary, because you're taking what, a 20-foot vehicle, right? And then you're taking at least 27-footer, 30 feet, 34, 40. You know, if you get a fifth wheeler, we just didn't really know where we wanted to go with that, but that was scary, intimidating.
That was super.
You know, then you see YouTube videos of them kind of swaying on the highway, and then everything tips around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have two littles. You know, we have our 9-year-old and our 2-year-old. So.
Yep. So that's how we actually ended up. We even went down, and I was just almost convinced that it wasn't gonna work, because I didn't want to store it anywhere. We even looked at pop-up campers.
Yeah,
when you showed me that thing, I was looking at you like,
I was like, but look, it's everything you need, and it compacts down tiny, so you're okay.
So I did like the fact that it did compact down. I just didn't like the fact that it was just like a tent that was just up in the air, and I don't know. I wasn't necessarily sold.
Yeah, so then that night, I actually started looking online, and I found something I'd never heard of before. Oh, she's crying.
Oh no, dude.
Come here.
All right, so we had to get up because we had that little one. So yeah, with kids sometimes.
Apparently.
Yeah, apparently. So we were talking about, we found a different one on the internet one night.
Yeah, called the trailmanor. So what was great about this is that it pops up, but it's the only hard-sided pop-up trailer on the market at all. And they were so genius with how they did this. They actually had all the cabinets up above that actually come down. It folds in, and then it folds down to 20 feet.
Yeah.
So 2720 is the model that we got. So
That's
it pops
the one
up
that
to
we
27 feet.
And if you haven't seen our walkthrough video, I'll link it somewhere. I don't know where the cards end up going, and I'll put the video down, the link in the description, so you can kind of see how we open it up, the inside of the before, because we're going through like a major reno right now. The thing is like it's like in 1,000 pieces right now, like literally.
Yes. We took everything off, the hinges, the doors.
I'm just overwhelmed at the thought of putting the thing back together and just hoping that I kept all the screws. Again, watch the video, super cool trailer. Can't wait to show you guys what it's gonna look like once we're done. Right now we're in the painting process, and I think this weekend we plan on doing the floors and then putting on the counters. So for someone who's on the fence maybe about getting an RV or the RV life, I hope that we have at least convinced you somewhat. But what is there anything that you want to share with them? Why they need an RV? Why they should consider it?
I just think, you know, like I said, 2020 just put everything into perspective. I feel like it was kind of the wake-up call that the entire world, including America, really needed, just to appreciate the little things, connecting with your family, and appreciating the nature that we have around us. America is so beautiful. There's so many different awesome places to see.
And even some of the conversations that we've had with different RV salesmen, they're saying that they were having a hard time just keeping them on the lot.
Right, in the past 4 years, not even because of COVID, that this has just completely boomed. I mean, like we said, this was a world we didn't even know existed.
No idea. I didn't even know what a black tank was. I was like, what are you talking about? When somebody said gray, I think it was Eamon and Beck, they were like, oh, we're gonna empty out the gray tank, and I was like, whoa, he's so bougie. Why can't you just say it's dirty water? You just say dirty water, but then
that's what it's called.
It's literally a gray tank. So
yeah.
So I think for me, I would say the same thing. Like, you know, it's safe, especially if you have kids, and if you have the luxury and you're fortunate enough to be able to work remotely, and your boss or whatever isn't opposed to you working kind of wherever you want, and you have kids, obviously if they're school age, that they're homeschooled.
Right.
I mean, our kid is we're in this unique place that we're not really necessarily, not that we're not tied to an area, but nobody's expecting me to go anywhere.
Physically in person at the moment.
Yeah, because we do travel a lot pre-COVID, right? We did travel quite a bit, so yeah, so that's kind of why we're where we're at, and so we're excited to share this journey with you guys. Our next video, or the next couple of videos, will be really about the reno. Be on the lookout for that. Again, we're super excited. Thank you all. If you made it to the end of the video, we really appreciate you guys. If you liked the video, you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up. Comment down below what we should be doing. Let us know. Again, we're newbies. Give us some tips. Help us out. Where do we go? What do we do?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think this was good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah?
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. She says it's a wrap, so I listen to Mom. So I think we're done now. All right, guys.
Mom, what
see
about
ya.
wifey?
What was my question?
Oh, perfect.
Oh yeah.